Honorable Minister, if
seeing a major problem
here,
there.
Some people will say that at some point when the APC came, especially in the House, in the Parliament, some people will say that your party, the PDP, is afraid of the APC, the emergence of that party, and now going into 2015. Really, is your party, the PDP, afraid of the APC?
Absolutely not. You remember that when the APC emerged and some people started crossing over, that said, well, PDP was losing weight to gain strength. Because a number of the people who were in PDP were so quarrelsome, so dictatorial, and you can see the dictatorship in the new places they have gone to. They are not tolerant of even the people that founded the APC. And if you look at a number of those governors that left, they have large oversized egos, and democracy is virtually impossible in those states. You can see so many people living back now to PDP. I can assure you that between now and 2015, I see a lot of exodus from APC back to PDP. You will watch and see it. First of all, they are used to imposition of candidates. And so the bad habits will not go away. And then they are used to one person being the leader of the party, whether it's in ACN or MPP or CPC. You remember that during the 2011 election in Katsina, the CPC so mismanaged its primaries that a number of the people who had initially left to CPC in Katsina returned to PDP. Now we're beginning to see that attitude, and a number of people are now leaving APC back. Look at what has happened in Edo State just today, where a member of the House of Reps has left. Hundreds of people, including state officials of APC, had left back to PDP. So the problem with APC is that whereas theoretically they proclaim progressivism, they proclaim they are very democratic, but we have not seen that in content. Highly dictatorial. And the people who left PDP to the party are not different from who we used to know. So definitely, I believe that PDP is gaining strength. And as we go to 2015, PDP will consolidate. Many people will return to PDP. And PDP is truly democratic, with a democratic leader like President Jonathan.
From that point, the issue of being democratic, as you describe the APC, a lot of people will say you are almost describing your party, because as they say that there's probably little or no difference between your party and even the opposition, the APC. Is it that your party, because of the crisis that we saw in your party earlier in the year and late last year, is it that your party also is suffering from the same disease that APC is facing at the moment?
No. Let me tell you, there's a world of difference between the APC and the PDP. The PDP is a highly democratic party, and it's been the only party that has been able to conduct its conventions from beginning to the end, since its formation. The PDP is also a social democratic party, left of center, and you will see that in PDP today, especially those who left are people who are always jumping from party to party for elections. You will notice that a number of the people who left, for example, never really were democratically elected in the previous conventions of PDP. If you look at what happened in Sokoto, you remember that Wamako was not, Wamako had left. He was in DPP also. He was not in PDP. The person who won the election for primaries in Sokoto was Shagari, who was the former Minister of Water Resources. But the ticket was hijacked from him and given to Wamako, who was never stood for election in PDP. You will also remember that in Adamawa, Nyako was on his farm when the primaries in PDP were going on, and then the ticket was just handed over to him. And those who went into the primaries didn't get it. And these people, when you look at the way they have conducted themselves, are not truly Democrat. So they keep jumping from place to place. And when they were in PDP, you will find that every day they create division, they create quarrels. Since they left, you will see that PDP has gone quiet. PDP has become calm. Now the place that is simmering now is APC. And you will notice that PDP really is a true national party. There is no extreme religion there in PDP. There is no extremism of religion. Every section of Nigeria is there, the minorities, the majorities, Muslims, Christians, animists, and PDP. So the extremism that you see in APC, including the tendency to violence, is a major problem in APC. You saw the knife fights in Kaduna during the elections. You saw the crisis, the killings in several places during the last APC congresses that are still ongoing. So PDP is calm. PDP is the party with a sound program for national unity and national development. So PDP will get better. Definitely.
But quickly, before we move into
out those people that have become a problem in the party,
and
we are now confident and moving forward, and you'll be surprised at the outcome of the next elections.
He's the leader of the party, but it appears some people are not quite comfortable with his leadership, especially in the party. And we've seen a former vice president leave the party, a lot of governors leave the party, a whole lot of lawmakers too leaving the fold. How would you describe this situation as we go into 2015? Do you think that the president has combining being a president in that executive status and the party man, how would you describe his capacity in that particular sense?
Let me tell you, when those politicians left, I describe them as nomadic. Because if you look at the people that left the party, they have always moved from one party to another. They never had stability at all. Atiku has moved to ACN, moved back to PDP, returned back to APC. So you will see that those movements have always been constant in terms of the shift. So these are politicians that are looking for a platform to contest elections. They don't want to stay in a party and build it into an institution that can develop the country. So when they left, we noticed that the party has grown. If you go to Adamawa today, for example, the exit of Nyako collapsed APC. A number of the people who founded APC in Adamawa returned back to PDP. And so if you go to Adamawa today, for example, it will be a miracle for APC to claim to win an election in Adamawa State. If you go to Edo State today, you will see that all the people who left, since 2007 are returning back to PDP. And in Edo State, I can assure you that if you do any gubernatorial election in Edo State today, we will win. Now, I tell you that in the next election, you know very well that although President Jonathan has not come out to contest, but on his records, as the person that has brought free elections to Nigeria, as the president that has grown the economy consistently for all the years he has been in power, as the president that has brought back social services, railways, that has grown the telecoms, that has reformed power, that has built our roads, that is growing, education, building 30 universities in 4 years. Now, this president, as we see him today, is the man to beat. He's calm. He's deliberate in the things he does. He has run the economy in such a way that today, even his enemies must admit that by overtaking South Africa, the number one economy in Africa, in spite of the challenges of insecurity we get from several of the states actually controlled by APC, you notice that this president has shown capacity. He's quiet, he's deliberate, and he's calm. And this is the man really that has patiently built Nigerian democracy to the extent that today, because of his reforms, we are now beginning to have a robust opposition. This will not do anything other than promoting the president as truly the leader. And if you look at the passion in other places, you compare them side by side with President Jonathan, definitely is the leader for this country for now. Going into the foreseeable future.
Just away from issues of party politics, let me take a look at the issues of journey into democracy, 15 years now, and looking at the performance or the abilities of President Jonathan. One major factor people will want to look into is that of corruption. And there are a lot of criticism as to President Jonathan's ability to tackle corruption, considering the events that have unfolded in the past few years.
Let me tell you, a lot of the proclamations about corruption associated with the president has been mainly a lot of politics from the opposition. And I can tell you this. If you look at the reform that the president has had, the president believes that the best way you can fight corruption in Nigeria is to change the economy. When you run an economy that is controlled by the state bureaucracy, where the
There, but we go on a short break as we are able to resolve that technical each, and we'll be back. We'll be talking about the issue of corruption and how to fight it in Nigeria. Then we'll move into issues concerning insurgency and government's activities in that particular area. I still have my guest standing by in our Abuja studios, the Minister of Information, Labaran Maku. Stay with us.